All right, we're going to switch gears right now because I want to talk about an AR-15 success story where a clothing store owner in Wisconsin opened fire on a bunch of thugs who were trying to rob the place, and he successfully defended both his business and his life in the process. Rami Mirror, owner of a Milwaukee-based clothing store, posted video of the encounter to the company's Instagram account with a stark warning to any other potential burglars. Don't come to our establishment with guns or try breaking in our stores and expect less than us defending ourselves. We will protect our business and employees at any cost. And check this video out again. You can see in the video how the criminals used a car to smash into the doors so the robbers could get in, but they are quickly met with resistance. The owner managed to hit one of the guys as they ran the hell out of there. And they ran out of there in a big hurry. Nice job. So an AR-15 success story indeed.
But I also believe that a lot of gun owners would agree that AK-47s belong in the hands of soldiers, not in the hands of criminals.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, picking up every one of them, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it.
A security vehicle is parked in the driveway. Bonnie and Clyde show up to announce a holdup. But what they don't know is they're about to get an AR-15 surprise. Here's the armed couple. They both have handguns. They are greeted at the door by the receptionist. The business owner is sitting in a chair against the wall. The bad guy points his gun at the receptionist's head. The security guard is in the office pulling out an AR-15 rifle. After the shootout, the security guard lunges to the door.
The security guard that was inside returned fire, 2 shots at the suspect. Did not hit him. The suspects then fled the location.
The couple ran off in different directions. Police do not believe the man or the woman were wounded. The security guard shot twice, once through the doorway, and also fires a round directly through the wall. Watch the gunfight unfold.
There was quite a few people inside the location. Very lucky that nobody was seriously injured. The security guard did suffer a wound to the upper leg area. Yeah, but he's going to be okay.
It is simply amazing no one was killed in this wild shootout.
You have some new information about how many rounds were fired. Is that right?
40 rounds, Anusha and Sophia. That's what police are telling us. More than 40 rounds were fired, and not one of them hit that homeowner. He was standing in a yard just behind me over my left shoulder at this house. 3 suspects came by, police say, and they started opening fire at him, and he returned fire. And if you can pan over here to the left, you can see the suspect's vehicle down the street on Glen Burnie. It sort of crashed there on the left. It's a Nissan Altima. Let's show you some of the video. This happened early this morning. It's remarkable this homeowner wasn't hit because there was an excess of 40 rounds fired, and the homeowner actually was able to hit all 3 suspects in a moving vehicle, which is quite remarkable when you consider all of these facts. 2 of those suspects are dead, police tell us. 1 died at the scene. The other died at the hospital. The 3rd suspect is at Bentop. He is in surgery. We don't know his condition just yet. The homeowner, who's been answering questions all morning, is still with police and has gone downtown to answer more questions. Detectives telling us that this is most likely going to be a self-defense case, and the homeowner will likely not be charged. His brother tells us, family members tell us, that the brother goes to the shooting range often and has an AR-15, and that is what they tell us is the weapon he used in this shooting. Reporting live, I'm Jake Reiner, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Wow, Jake, a close call for that homeowner. Thank you so much for that.
At home with his 12-year-old sister when burglars try to break in.
That's when investigators say the boy grabbed his dad's assault rifle and started shooting, and he hit one of the men repeatedly. This all unfolded this afternoon in the 2600 block of Royal Place Court. 11 News reporter Sharon Min Chow talked with neighbors and investigators.
Anxious family and friends crossed the yellow tape into a surreal crime scene. A 15-year-old boy and his 12-year-old sister had been home alone in the Mount Royal Village subdivision. And at about 2:30, a pair of home invaders tried the front and back doors, then broke a back window.
A young boy was protecting his sister. You know, he was in fear for his life and for his sister's life.
The brother grabbed his father's assault rifle and knew what to do with it. His dad is a Precinct 1 deputy constable.
We don't try to hide things from our children in law enforcement.
The children were not hurt. The home invaders fled, leaving a trail of blood. 2 suspects showed up at Tomball Hospital. One, the adult, had multiple gunshot wounds and was flown to Memorial Hermann Hospital. The second, a juvenile, was taken back here. Detectives walked the suspect through the crime scene. Meantime, neighbors say burglars had recently struck the 2 houses next door, which included the deputy's home.
They stole everything, what they have inside. They already did it one time.
And this may be the last time, at least for these suspects. In Northwest Harris County, Sherman Chow, 11 News.
Rodriguez was just booked in Wagner County Jail. Now, I talked to neighbors, and they told me that they've been seeing more break-ins than usual in that area. Deputies say 3 teens broke into this home.
My neighbors said that they heard the shots.
The homeowner's son heard, grabbed his gun, and killed them all.
No, it surprised me. It could have been my house, too. Like I said, you know, I'm just... I'm still kind of shocked at it.
Jacob Cavazos lives nearby.
I built this house 12 years ago, and I always leave my truck open and everything. You know, nobody has any problems at all.
That is, until recently.
It kind of happened, everything at once.
Cavazos says in the last few weeks, there's been a spike in break-ins.
They have break-ins, you know, in the garages and stuff.
The latest deadly incident is a lot to take in.
And, you know, they were aggressive, I'm sure, and they met aggression.
The teens were ages 17 to 18. 2 died in the home. The third tried to run, but died from his injuries in the driveway. A 4th suspect, Elizabeth Marie Rodriguez, was also arrested and charged with 3 counts of felony murder. Deputies say she was the getaway driver. Sources say the 21-year-old is a mother of 3. We asked Deputy Nick Mahoney if the crew could be connected to any other burglaries.
We don't know if they're connected to any other burglaries in the area.
Cavazos says he hopes this incident deters any other thieves from messing with his neighborhood.
You know, most of my neighbors have protection, you know.
Yeah.
We need to get these weapons of war off the streets.
Well, these are weapons of war.
Stop making it easy as possible for terrorists to buy assault weapons.
We had an assault weapons ban.
Reinstate the assault weapons ban.
We have seen the devastation that these military-style weapons cause.
Let me say something to every political hack pretending you know an AR-15 from a double-barreled shotgun in the wake of the Orlando terror attack. Stop talking. Every word not only exposes your ignorance, but your utter contempt for ordinary Americans trying to survive in an age of terror you still won't fully recognize. Hillary Clinton says weapons of war have no place on our streets, and that we need to ban AR-15s immediately. Unlike Hillary, I've actually used an AR-15, but fully automatic. I was a SEAL for 12 years. Now I train average everyday Americans to protect themselves and their families. And for the vast majority of people I work with, there is no better firearm to defend their homes against realistic threats than an AR-15 semi-automatic. It's easy to learn and easy to use. It's accurate, it's reliable. And I guarantee if the Founding Fathers had known this gun would have been invented, they wouldn't have rewritten the Second Amendment. They would have fortified it in stone. Because they knew the only way for us to stay free was by having whatever guns the bad guys have. This firearm gives average people the advantage they so desperately need and deserve to protect their life, liberty, and happiness. But it isn't just the anti-gun politicians attacking our rights. With every broadcast, the media proves how ignorant and desperate for ratings they truly are.
Do we need AR-15s to hunt and kill deer? Do we need them to protect our families?
Look, Gretchen is a great broadcaster, and I'm glad she's on the side of freedom on most Second Amendment issues. But the fact of the matter is, she simply does not understand what she's talking about. The Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. And when it comes to defending your family, What does it say to you when I, a veteran Navy SEAL, someone who trains on every conceivable firearm platform, as well as trains in hand-to-hand combatives, someone who's more prepared for and capable in a firefight than almost every American alive, turns to the AR-15 to defend my family? Choosing to defend your home with an AR-15 is a common sense choice that tens of millions of Americans are making. And our neighborhoods and communities are safer for it. Let's run through some of the latest attacks and see how banning so-called assault weapons would have turned out. California already bans assault weapons. That didn't stop San Bernardino. No ban on ARs or any guns would have stopped the Boston Marathon bombing. ISIS's well-coordinated attack in France wasn't deterred by the country's strict gun control laws. Brussels' gun ban did nothing to stop terrorists from killing. But every single one of those tragedies ended with police officers carrying AR-15s, rushing to the scene as fast as possible. Hillary's solution to stopping terror attacks is to ban the very gun that stops terror attacks, and she calls that common sense. Why would you want to ban the gun that you pray for police to show up with? Here's a common sense solution to stopping Islamic terror. Law-abiding citizens prepared to deal with the imminent threats we face. Hillary Clinton's prepared. She knows ARs are a powerful defense against radical Islamic terrorists. That's why she's been surrounded by guards armed with them for the past 3 decades. AR-15s are fine for Hillary and her family, but average Americans who watch the news and feel genuine fear for their safety and their family's safety, she wants to deny them the level of protection she insists upon herself. I fought this enemy face to face for 12 years. I know how they think, and I know the hatred that burns inside them. I urge every law-abiding American to take measures to defend yourself. Arm yourself. Get the proper training. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Call upon your politicians to get rid of the dangerous lie of gun-free zones. Demand your national right to carry and use it. This threat is real. Our leaders are either incapable of or unwilling to protect you. And the AR-15 is one of the most effective tools available to protect yourself and your family. Embrace your freedom. Buy one if you want to. Get trained and learn how to use it. Your safety is in your hands. And thank God we have the Second Amendment.